Our second referee, Angelo Howe, national referee. And now let's meet the starters. First, for the Signal HD Spikers. Opposite hitter from Central Philippines University, number 1, Chai Troncoso. Outside spiker from the Far Eastern University, number 3, team captain, Rachel Ann Duckis. Outside spiker from San Beda University, number 7, Cesc Molina. Middle blocker from the National University, number 11, Roslyn Doria. Middle blocker from the University of Santo Tomas, number 18, Ria Meneses. Center from FEU, number 22, Jill Cayuna. Starting libero from the University of Perpetual Health System Delta, number 14, Jake Jonella. Head coach for Signal is Shep De Los Santos. And now the starters for the PLDT high-speed hitters. Middle blocker from De La Salle University, number 3, Mika Reyes. Outside spiker from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 4, Jules Samonte. Opposite hitter from the Far Eastern University, number 10, Chin Basas. Center from the University of Santo Tomas, number 12, team captain, Rhea Di Maculangan. Middle blocker from the University of St. LaSalle, number 13, Del Panamata. Outside spiker from Central Philippines University, number 17, Fiona Ceballos. Starting libero from the University of the East, number 8, Kat Arado. Head coach for PLDT is George Pasqua. This game is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. It is the semifinals matchup.
There you have it, our starters from the Signal HD Spikers. It's the full fold for Signal HD. They're complete with their usual starters. This is the lineup that the first 6 nga, sabi ni Jel Cayuna. On the other side of the court, it's the PLDT high-speed hitters also bringing in their big guns. Complete from Mika Reyes, Samonte, Di Maculangan, Basa, Ceballos, Palomata, and of course, Arado, who will be manning the fort. This is the semifinals here at the Premier Volleyball League 2022 Invitational Conference. Sinjan Reyes with Z Hervasio on call.
Very exciting talaga ngayong semi-final round, Sinjin, to see everybody here competing suited up. As a volleyball fan, parang it's such a breath of fresh air,
yes.
Na makita na if everybody's healthy, everybody's, down to get ready.
Health is the first thing, of course, that we prioritize.
Yes.
Especially when we're talking about sports. But here, Mika Reyes prioritizing to score right away for the PLDT high-speed hitter with a running attack.
Parang right on cue, as we were just talking about her in the pre-game, talaga nakita natin siya na she's really the go-to person here for PLDT. At hindi lang go-to person, she's been becoming consistent as a top scorer for her squad.
And Mika definitely is going to have a scoring reputation already, as she was the top scorer in their last game. But this on the other side of the court. Welcome back to Chai Troncoso for the HD Spikers. She marks her first point.
Isa pa tong exciting player to watch out for, Gladine Troncoso. You did not see her in the first few games of Signal, but parang siya yung she secured her spot here in the first 6.
She was the missing piece.
Correct. And it was timely for her to step up in her spot. Talaga nakita natin. In her previous teams din kasi, she wasn't that exposed. But now, nakita natin siya na she deserves a spot in the first 6.
And you know that she's a role player. She played several positions. I remember she used to play middle, if I'm not mistaken. So, very great growth here has Samonte, who was also another player who has shown a lot of growth and
That's
potential. Served, but Doria ends that rally. Look at that again. Rose Doria. Perfect clip, finding the end zone.
Just in the right spot. Right now, simula pa lang ang set number 1. Nakita natin everybody's full steam ahead. Everybody's energy is up there. Palitan lang ng scores.
And it's the first time that we saw 2 consecutive points on the side of Signal HD. So earlier it was tipped for tat. Now Signal trying to string up some points here. Doria continues to serve for the HD Spikers. Straight Dorado. They go up to Ceballos, that doesn't cross. As we go to our insider, Alexis Tinsay.
Signal coach Shaq De Los Santos is happy to have secured their first 4 wins given that they have entered the semifinals. And with their stint, he's excited to fill in the gaps of the first leg because this is an opportunity for his girls to step up. Given their astounding performance for last season with his players bagging awards such as Best Spiker, Best Middle Blockers, and Best Setter, hopefully ayon kay Coach Shaq, mabigyan sana sila ng ending na mas maganda at yung championship ay mapasa kanila. Back to volleyball action in this long rally.
Thank you so much, Alexis. And definitely, I think the gold in their uniform is that one thing to get that gold here at the PVL. But yes, Alexis said it right. We are in a long rally as Meneses goes with that very sharp hit off the hands of her former teammate, Catalado.
And that's right. If we remember in the previous conference, Signal had a good start talaga. Everybody was locked in from the elimination round to the semifinals. But yun nga lang, kinapos nung semifinals at bumaba sila sa battle for third. And I remember in one interview, Rachel Daki said, you know, this is a long distance game, hindi sprint to.
Yes.
Kaya ngayon, we're trying to find the balance sa trainings, sa games.
Especially now we have a full season. We're also seeing longer rallies as we talk about the long season that we have here at the PVL. Great digs here as we try to join in into the volleyball action. I think Z, the volleyball gods, are calling you back inside the court. But let's go to this replay first. Molina with a strong hit, and that was too hot to handle for Jules Samonte. And there you have it. Let's go to this timeout of the PLDT high-speed hitters.
Timing sa block. Sagayin nyo lang sa block kasi nagiging single backer tayo eh. Pag hindi kayo makaabot, kung hanggang sa lang kayo umabot, di ba? Doon lang dapat. Wag niyong gagawin na hindi kayo mag-a-attempt sa block. Huwag kayong ihinto. Okay?
Pero wala mo ng drop ball, kuha mo natin complete sa
So naintindihan. Tapos sige, commit lang sa quick. Tapos balik lang, combination ka. Okay, PLDT.
Sinjin, I think dito mamumuhunan tong Signal HD Spikers kasi they have a full frontliner. We got Ces Molina, Rachel Dakis, and Riri Meneses. Kaya I think at this point, itong 5-point run, pwede pa nila ma-extend.
Well, Doria has been having a very chill time there on the service line. She's known to be a strong server, of course, back in her UAP days. Great dig there from Doria. Dakis will answer for Signal, and as predicted by Z, it becomes a 6-0 run for the HD Spikers.
In that last rally, nakita natin, yun na nga, kampante na dito sa service line si Doria at nagpo-floor defense pa.
Serve still came from Doria. Ceballos on that tip, popped up by Jel. They go up to Dakis, down the line. What a hit from Rachel Andakis.
Rachel Andakis now giving variations to her shot. Kanina, cross-court ngayon, down the line naman.
And we go to our first technical timeout. Signal leads by 6. for the Signal HD Spikers as they lead by 6 big points here at the first set. This is the Signal HD Spikers going up against the PLDT high-speed hitters. Doria has been serving there since the second point that they had, but that is finally stopped by PLDT. Let's look at that quick hit coming from Chin Basas.
Good decision there from PLDT, getting into a combination play right off of the serve from Signal. Talagang pag first attack kasi, since as much as possible you want to confuse your blocker. So that was a good decision there by Rhea de Macolangan.
But another good decision on the other side of the court. Cés Molina easily stops the change in favor.
Cés Molina also showing variations of her attacks. Kanina pumapalo, power hit, and then now off speed.
So Signal maintains that 6-point lead here. Molina with that serve. Palomata denied there by Dakis. Ceballos off the blockers. On the other side, Signal goes to assess from the back row. That's too strong.
Ngayon lang, since they can afford those kinds of errors so far, as they are up 5 points. But now let's see if PLDT will do a comeback here in the first set.
Let's see. I asked Coach George if there's anything different kasi syempre in their last face-off, it was a depleted Signal lineup that they saw. And Coach George mentioned how they had to make their net defense stronger. So really, we're waiting for those blocks from the PLDT side as well, as they're down still by 6 points now. And Jovi Prado is injected back inside the court. Kath Arado, of course, will man the backcourt as Rachel Andakis will be serving for the HD Spikers. Straight to Samonte. They go up to Palomata.
Woo! There you go. PLDT maximizing on their strengths. As we mentioned kanina, pre-game sa PLDT, mga middle hitters nila yung top scorers for their squad.
And when I asked Rhea de Macolangan, she mentioned that is the goal today, to activate all her spikers.
That's right. Usually kasi sa labanan in a higher level, yung outsides mo, yung opposites mo, mga second to the last resort mo na yan. Usually, it's your middle hitters talaga who's your #1 options. And if you see, statistically, 50% is a really good efficiency rating. And in their last match, yun nga, si Mika Reyes, almost a little over 50%. Kaya maganda yung efficiency niya so far here in the Open Conference.
So really great outing for both squads, especially PLDT. Jules Samonte earlier with that dump, and now she follows it up with a back-to-back point with a hit off the block. This is now a 3-point game. PLDT slowly inching their way closer to Signal.
Ngayon naman, Jules Samonte in the front line. Siya, so far, before Mika, has been the one who's been steadily the top scorer for her squad. If we check that out, 3 straight games, Jules Samonte ang top scorer for PLDT. And here in the semifinal round, you would want to see these pieces, these players to step up for their squad.
Now Riri Meneses joins the scoring block. Signal regains a 4-point lead as Meneses will now serve for the black shirts. That goes straight to Basas. Samonte will try to get that across. Ball continues. Ball game continues. And rally ends with Del Palomata on a quick hit. Let's look at that again, Z.
Medyo out of system play there, but it's good to see how Del also has grown so far in her career, na hindi lang yung basic textbook plays ang nagagawa niya. Ngayon, even out of system, she can be reliable.
She developed that, and now she served as Doria goes for that quick hit. Ball is still alive. Back row coming from Basas. That sails out.
At this point, you wouldn't want to have those errors kasi you're trying to catch up against your opponent. And I think, kanina, munti ko na sabihin, I think at this point, PLDT is also hoping for errors on the other side kasi medyo malayo-layo yung kalamangan. But Signal has been managing to control their error production so far right now. They've only had 2 errors here in this set.
Any freebie, of course, is well received here. Samonte hits that off the blockers. On the other side, Molina with a tip right behind the blockers of PLDT. Smart move there coming from the returning Ces Molina.
Ces Molina definitely is telling everybody, bilang yung opponents niya, pati tayong mga manonood na she's definitely back. Healthy as ever and malay mo, mag-top score pa this match.
Well, she mentioned it's been a miracle that sabay-sabay silang nakabalik.
Correct.
And that is additional inspiration, just like Rose Doria on that quick. On the other side, Samonte denied by the blockers of Signal. Mika Reyes will try this time. Gel goes to Ces again. You have a long rally here. Basas from the back row. They go up to Ces on the third try, and this time she finds a hole in the defense of PLDT.
Ces Molina trying to get that out of system set. Medyo napalayo, but thanks to her skills, her athleticism, nagawa ng paraan. Medyo parang running hit na yon. Usually you don't see that from your opposites and your outsides, but with the skill level that she has, madali na lang yun.
Di makulangan with that dump. On the other side, Molina denied by the blockers. General goes up to Troncoso off speed. Reyes chooses Prado from the back row, and Prado finds a spot there for PLDT. This goes back to a 5-point game. This is a highlight game, Z. Highlight after highlight.
Kasi Joe Prado, medyo lucky na tumaplis dun sa kamay ng blockers niya kasi the defenders of Signal were already ready, prepared for that back row hit, but medyo nalihis dahil nagamit niya ang kamay ng mga blockers.
This time, Signal also getting lucky to get a freebie coming from PLDT. Back to a 6-point lead for the black shirts. And Chai Tongkoso will serve for Signal HD. Serves goes straight to Prado, and that becomes an ace. Signal is just on a roll here. And we go to our first technical timeout. Signal leads 16-9. Back from the second technical timeout here at the Premier Volleyball League. It is the third game of your semifinals here at the Invitational Conference. Signal versus PLDT. Signal leads 7 points. Sinjin Reyes with Z Hervasio and Chai Tongkoso with that serve. Chin Basas with that strong hit. Troncoso on that second ball. Free ball coming from Dakis. Samonte this time will try. On the other side, General sets up Molina. That's popped up by Prado, and Reyes finds the line there for PLDT.
And this is what we've been talking about, Sinjin. of how Mika Reyes has been playing so far here in her volleyball career. Ngayon, nagkakaroon na ng tuldok ng bigat yung mga palo niya, and she is becoming a force to reckon.
She's definitely improved, much like her teammate Jules Samonte.
Yes.
With that serve, Dakis off the blockers, another player who reinvented herself, Molina. With a tip on the other side, Basas denied by the block of Dakis. They go up to Basas again, this time. That doesn't cross. Point goes to Signal.
Chin Basas trying to go for a different angle there, pero that was just short. A little short on the height there, but good intention.
Rose Doria now to serve. Straight to Samonte. Di makulangan. It goes to Prado. Samonte was there for coverage. They go up to Reyes. Tongcoso was there. Molina with some muscle. Prado keeps it alive. Free ball coming from Basas. Gel goes to running. Riri Meneses.
Riri Meneses putting that oomph, that period there of her running attack. If you get a free ball just like that, kabahan ka na. A lot of plays can be done here, especially by Signal. A lot of short, fast sets coming from Zel Cayuna.
PLDT tries to answer with that off-speed coming from Jov, but Molina with that cannon. On the other side, Prado will try again. Doria was there. Dakis on that drop. Ball is still alive. Samonte returns it. They go up to Dakis this time. She goes to that sharp down the line hit. This now inflates to a 9-point lead. Let's look at that again.
Rachel Dakis. You know what, Sinjin? A lot of people also have been saying that maybe because she's using her collegiate jersey number, maybe that's why it feels like she's back in college.
May konting feng shui na kasama.
May superstition, may
Yeah.
feng shui, but we love to see it.
We love seeing vintage Dakis as Doria sets up Molina on that tip. Arado was there. Reyes will answer. On the other side, Molina again. Dimakulangan was there. They go up to Prado. Popped up by Doria. This was the rotation earlier that Signal was racking a lot of points and the long rallies. Basas. Oh! Doria let that one go. So PLDT gets the point there in that long rally. It becomes an 8-point game.
A good spot there by Chin Basas. Taking advantage of Doria playing floor defense in that rally.
Now, top scorer for PLDT in her last match will be serving. Straight to Dionela. They go up to Daki. She's denied. She covered herself, but ball is not kept alive. PLDT stringing up back-to-back points here. Look at that again. It's single block coming from the towering Del Palomata.
That's a good sign there how Del has just been going ball after ball. Mapa on system or off system. She goes up for that block and she gets that block kill.
But the recovery from Signal, that answer coming from Ces Molina, as we look at it in this replay. Checking that one off the hands of Del Palomata. That tallies the 20th point for the black shirts here. And Ces Molina will serve for Signal.
Ces Molina also being cerebral here at the match, using her blockers.
Oh, that is something that we uncommonly see coming from Rhea de Maculangan. You know, everyone's human inside this volleyball court.
Probably thought twice kung kanino ibibigay yung bola.
That's the challenge, no? Millisecond decision making
Correct.
coming from our setters. Signal now goes to Dakis. That ball is returned. Kayuna now to a running Meneses.
Riri Meneses being unstoppable in that area. Almost every time that she goes for a running attack, it's almost always a point.
Taas ng porsyento eh. Now this inflates to a 10-point lead. Let's go to the timeout of Coach George Pascua.
Hindi yung pa-under ka, tapos nag-glide ka, dito yung bola. Ha? Naintindihan? Kasi twice na yun eh. Ang running nila, hindi naman nagpasantena eh. Short lang yung running. Bakit kailangan isarap dun sa down the line? Diba? Ngayon, nakita ninyo yung tao nandito, malayo sa block, kayo na mismo po forward. Okay? Kayo na kukuha na ng bola. Naintindihan? Huwag nyo asa sa block. Depensa tayo sa likod.
Coach George Pascua giving the reminders there for the PLDT high-speed hitters. Much needed at this time as they are down by 10 points here.
And so far, as we check out the statistics, PLDT has made 6 errors. As to only 1 by Signal.
So Signal playing a bit more perfect here, almost perfect, 99% perfect. But here, Del Palomata keeping her advantages high here. Look at that again. Palomata with that hit, a bit flat ball, but still
At the right spot, at the right time, Sinjin.
perfectly placed as Eli Soyud checks in together with Wendy and Semana. This is the usual double substitution that Coach George has for PLDT to establish a full front line as Semana serves. Kayuna on that dump. Oh! Read by a veteran setter in Semana. But this time, Soyud.
Good decision there, Sinj, but a little off of the execution and coming off of a good save there by Wendy Semana. And usually, when you just get in the court, when you get subbed in, gusto mo usually pumuntos kagad.
May gigil eh.
Yes.
Oh. That serve was a bit too soft for Aisha Landakis. Going straight to Meneses. This is now a 9-point game. Signal just needs 2 to close us out. PLDT needs 9 to tie it. Prado now to serve. Dig up to Tongkoso. That's off the block. And that gives Signal their set-point advantage.
It's good to see new names, new faces stepping up for these squads. And as we remember, this year, a lot of players, a lot of teams have reinvented themselves as well.
10-point gap here. Semana goes to Soyod. That's off the blockers. On the other side, Molina. Popped up by Arado. The tip coming from Palomata. Oh, and that joust on the net. Won by PLDT. PLDT stays alive here. They're down by 9.
Del Palomata not giving up in that play. Or rather, it was an error. Doria going up for that, which he thought was a joust, by the way. And I don't blame her. I thought it was going over as well. But they can afford these errors at this time. 1 point to end the match. But now, we see here Heather Genoo serving. And I remember there was one match where
she finished the set with an ace
pinasok
off.
last minute, last few points, and with an ace. But as we see here, Signal wanted to finish set 1 right away with an emphasis coming off Doria.
Doria getting that off the hands of Deng Ginoo. And Signal closes set number 1, 25-15. It's a 10-point gap between the HD Spikers and the PLDT high-speed hitters. Let's see how set 2 will unfold when we return here at the heart of volleyball. We're back here at the Premier Volleyball League 2022 Invitational Conference, live from the Inaya Center here at Antipolo. Set number 1 concluded with a 25-15 score. Signal lorded on that set and just carried on, showed us their best performance yet. Really controlling set number 1. PLDT tried to have an answer. We saw some flashes of brilliance coming from the high-speed hitters, but at the end of it all, Signal just finishing things off. As we look at the statistics, almost a perfect set there for Signal, just with 2 faults.
That's right, and as we remember, in the first part of the first set, Signal HV Spikers already made a 6-0 run. That's why parang medyo lumabang sila, and they took advantage of that balloon of a score. And PLDT has yet to come back from that run that Signal has been making so far in the first set.
PLDT though showing some good numbers in terms of the distribution of their point output, but still Signal just too hot to handle. Really just full steam ahead, as you said, at the top of the coverage. And we now start set number 2 here at the 3rd game of our semifinals round. Red Makulangan will kick things off for the PLDT high-speed hitters. She already has 7 excellent sets under her name. That goes straight to Dunela. They go up to Troncoso, but that doesn't cross. Point goes to PLDT.
Signal trying to go for that play, going for Sai Troncoso and that running attack, but a little too low on that set.
Coach George looking a bit stoic on the sidelines. Earlier, we showed him, of course. Di Makulangan there with that serve. Molina.
Says Molina with that height advantage over her blockers.
Someone woke up at the right side of the bed today.
And Says Molina, I think so far in the first set, I think she led her team in scoring. Parang di nawala. 6 points so far, 6 attack points in that first set.
Oh.
Ooh.
Here, PLDT getting lucky here. They get called out for a rotational fault. Coach Jack still very chill on the sidelines.
He knows he has that edge, and he knows that his squad is complete and healthy, and everybody looks ready to kill here in their first game in the semifinal round.
The edge was 10 points earlier in the first set.
10 lang naman.
No, 10 lang naman. Maliit na bagay. But let's look back at this replay. Rachel Andakis getting this one through. You can't give a one-on-one blocker there for Rad.
PLDT making some adjustments here on the libero side. We saw Viray playing the defense there as Jane Basas makes that attack hit.
And PLDT gets one over Signal in this last play. Basas just making sure she misses the block of Rachel Andakis that has been frustrating her since set number 1.
And that was really a tough spot, a tough angle for her.
As we tie things over at 3, and we go to our insider, Alexis Dinsay.
Just like Mika Reyes, given their good performance, is hesitant to deem themselves dominant given that they are a new team. Growing as every game passes by, Del Palomata is also keeping her feet on the ground dahil daw madami na ring experience ang ibang teams. Pero ang natatanging angat raw sa PLDT high-speed hitters ayon kay Del ay yung kanilang overflowing connection kung saan ina-enjoy nilang bawat serve, spike, dig at receive. Positive energy is what we expect from the high-speed hitters this set 2, and the game continues as Chinbasa serves this ball.
Thank you so much, Alexis. And she said it. Alexis Densa is coming for our jobs.
Thank you.
Thank you for...
You may come here now.
Yes. Your turn, ganun. Rachel Andake is finding the end zone.
Right now, we're seeing just an exchange of points, an exchange of attacks and errors here between the two squads. But trying to take advantage as much as possible for a full front line here for the PLDT squad.
Dakis now will be serving for Signal. Tied at 4. She has 5 points under her belt. They go up to Prado. And she finds the line. We're seeing faster plays here, Z, coming from the high-speed hitters. Really high speed, true to their name.
That's right. And as we see also, they've minimized their errors so far here in the second set. Too early to tell, but so far they're moving pretty well. Better than the first set. As you mentioned, low fast sets are visible here in the second set. But also the reception. Their passes are quite are better here in the second set so far.
Troncoso tries to answer back as Samonte gets that one off the hands of Dakis.
Jules Samonte there. Her body was pretty much on the side there, pero nagawan pa rin ng paraan. She still had that high reach. Missed her blockers and put the ball on the right spot.
It's an interesting takeoff na paside.
Correct.
Troncoso on that tip, playing it smart. Signal keeping the gap close here to 1 point.
Chai just proving that you don't always have to have a strong hit or a strong, powerful attack. Just seeing her teammate Ces Molina also in the first set, a lot of variations, and so far it's been working here for Signal HG Spikers.
PLDT getting another point there, courtesy of Del Palomata. PLDT is now up by 2 points here. And Palomata will serve for PLDT.
So far right now, Sinjin, at the first part of this second set, PLDT looking like a well-oiled machine as compared to Signal.
Very different from what we saw in that first set, as we saw that running from Reyes and that tip coming from Cayuna. But the point will go to the PLDT high-speed hitters. As we look at this again, Cayuna going for that dump, but that is too soft to cross the net. And PLDT enters the first technical timeout with a 3-point lead.
Nagpalit po.
Back here inside the Inari Center. Oh, and as we have the Gregorio family, Bel Gregorio and Coach Ryan Gregorio here, present, enjoying the volleyball action, of course. Bel, who was part of our UAP correspondence. So glad to see you here enjoying volleyball. But back to volleyball action now. Dimakulangan with a dump. Let's look at that again.
Showing how it's done, taking matters to her hands as Signal now calls for a timeout.
Let's listen in.
So targetin mo na yan. Dito na tayo tumarget. Ngayon, titingnan nyo sa running ulit. Uulitin ko ha, pag nag-running, huwag mag-glide. Tingin dito. Pagkatayo,
Kahit anong ginawin nila, kailangan nakafocus tayo. Naka-ready tayo dyan. May game plan tayo. Okay? So sige, receive muna. Gawa tayo ng play and then attack over lang. Tapos ready sa defense, ha?
Oy, aggressive. Let's go.
Sige lang, ha?
First time to see here, Signal calling for a timeout. As we check the statistics so far, they've made 3 or 4 errors so far as compared to only 1 by PLDT. So at this point, at this higher level of volleyball, Sinjin, we're trying to make perfect volleyball happen and minimize those errors.
You know, that's the expectation, as all my partners would mention, especially here in the pro, diba? Parang you really expect higher level of competition when you're here at the pros. Right now, we're seeing a 3-point gap between Signal and PLDT, and PLDT may have took control at the early part of the set, but so far Signal is trying to have the perfect answer as Gel serves on the other side. Strong hit coming from Samonte. Troncoso off the blockers. Arado was there. They go up to Reyes. General sets up Molina. Dimakulangan goes to Samonte again. General was there. That push coming from the HD Spikers. Back row coming from Basas. Molina.
Woo!
Oh, we have a long rally here. Great digging from both sides of the court. But this time, Samonte gets that one off the hands of Signal HD.
You know what, Sinjin? It's so cool to see how after that strong hit coming from Signal HD, nakangiti pa tong si PLDT getting all those floor defenses straight up to their setters. It's like they're getting that good energy, that good vibes here in the second set. And so far, we see that in the score pa lang.
However, nabate.
Lagi na yung nababate.
Oh, syempre. 3-point lead again by PLDT. Amidst giving a freebie to Signal HD. Troncoso also will now serve for the HD Spikers. Go ahead, Z.
2 back-to-back service errors is not a good sign here for PLDT, as usually every rotation you try to correct the mistakes that you just made.
And it doesn't help when right after that the other team gets a point off a very emphatic block there. Well-established block by Rose Doria. Well, she was not a UAP best blocker for nothing, diba?
That's right, Doria also getting that award in the last conference, trying to prove to herself and to everybody else that she deserves that award. And speaking of deserving spots, Jules Samonte finishing that rally with a strong, fast hit to zone 5.
Also proving why she deserves her spot here in the starting 6 for PLDT. What a hit there coming from Jules.
Getting that elevation. And you're right, Sinjin, as you mentioned earlier here in the game, Jules Samonte has been such a joy to see her grow in her new family, in this new role as one of the leaders in her team.
And now, PLDT starting to string points again on their side of the court. Look at that again. Daki's trying to avoid the blockers, trying to get that hit out, but fortunately, too much of an angle. Let's see what Daki's does again here. She goes for a tip on the other side. Prado, that's through the blockers. PLDT on a roll here. They lead by 5. Let's look at that again, Z.
So far, we see the weakness of the Signal HD Spikers is that cross-court hit. A lot of check balls coming from that outside hitter position from PLDT, and a 3-0 run by the high-speed hitters.
That push coming from Dakis on the other side. Basas through the blockers. Oh, PLDT has mastered the craft of getting this ball through the blockers as Signal HD will be calling time. Let's look at that. Chin Basas just getting it through the seam, and we go to Coach Shaq De Los Santos now.
Napakaseryoso natin.
Okay, okay.
And gusto natin, panggigilan lahat ng pinapalo nila kahit alam natin kaya natin siyang block. Pag pinapalo nila, ginaganon lang natin, dapat naka-establish yung block. Yun yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na yung hayaan dumaan muna, saka natin naabutin. Iharang na agad natin sa net, okay? So receive muna tayo kasi tatlo spiker natin, kailangan makataka tayo na maganda. Negative, dapat positive yung maging atano natin dyan. Enjoy tayo!
Coach Shaq De Los Santos saying, masyado pa kayong seryoso. Of course, it's a volleyball game. You have to enjoy it, Z. And you probably experienced this, of course, as a player.
That's right, Sinjin. And as in life, as much as we get serious or get in the zone of what we do in life, mapa-office man, mapalaro man sa volleyball, it has to stay fun at the end of the day.
But for sure, that last play, the Signal HD Spikers enjoyed that. As we look at it again, this combination from Ces Molina and Jel Cayuna. Ganda.
Ces Molina getting that sharp angle, avoiding Mika Reyes, the #1 blocker so far here in the Invitational Conference.
Doria will now serve for Signal. Ariado was there for the reception. Reyes on that quick, and PLDT maintains that 6-point lead. Let's look at this again. I'm not sure if they will get the reaction on the replay, pero yung ngiti ni Mika nakakatuwa kasi it was very much appreciated that she got that far. It wasn't the best contact that she got this game.
And I think that's what Coach Shaq has been trying to point out. Like, look at the PLDT squad. They're enjoying, they're having fun, all smiles around. And if you're having a good game, if you're having a good time, the points will follow, Sinjin.
Just like when Ces Molina has been having a good time scoring here for Signal. She maintains that 5-point gap between the black shirts and PLDT here. Molina, 9 points already in this match. Serves. It's over-received by PLDT. They go to a tip from Meneses. And Jel Cayuna, very aggressive here for Signal.
And that right there, Sinjin, is their 7th attack point so far here for the Signal squad as compared to 11 that PLDT has done so far. A lot of catching up to do, and I think that hit by Jel Cayuna has been much needed and sought after in this second set.
That might just spark things up here for the HD Spikers as Molina serves. It's straight to Samonte. Di Makulangan goes to Palomata, but the answer from PLDT is just as high speed as their connection there. It's a 5-point lead for the high-speed hitters as we look at that hit coming from Del Palomata again. Similar to a dunk in basketball. So we go into a gap as the PLDT high-speed hitters lead by 5 points. Back here in the PVL, the road to the PBA starts here. Tutukan ng PBA D-League Aspirants 2022. So one sports at sa PBA Rush. Gusto mo bang malaman ang latest happening sa sports? Dito lang tayo sa nag-iisang go-to tambayan ng lahat. Like and follow us on social media. That's at One Sports PHL on all platforms. Now back to PVL action. 5-point lead for PLDT here as
Ooh, trap set. Trap set.
there's a miscommunication on the side of Signal HD. PLDT gets a freebie.
And a freebie at that as PLDT has already been leading in attack points. So far right now, PLDT with 12 and Signal with 7. And coupled that with a couple of errors coming from Signal. Talagang that is why we're having a 6-point lead here in the second set.
Neta Arneta is now fielded in together with Ayel Estaniero for Signal. Neta on that hit. On the other side, Prado. Oh, that's off the shoulder of Troncoso. PLDT continues to roll here. And now Signal will be calling the next man up. Jerry Malabanan enters for the Black Shirts.
So far right now, we have a 3-0 run coming off of that technical timeout. And things are looking quite well here for the PLDT squad.
Serve coming from Basas. Neta. Straight to Basas. They go to Palomata. Ginelo is there. Meneses through the blockers. Prado denied there by the block. Palomata on that fast play.
Well, Palomata just enjoying that play, that hit. This is 8-point lead here in the second set so far.
Look at Del Palomata maximizing all 6'3" of her body with a full jump. At yan yung sinasabi ni Coach Shaq, they're enjoying the game talaga on the side of PLDT.
Ooh,
See,
swerte pa.
swerte pa. PLDT now enjoys a 9-point lead after that ace from Chin Basas.
Now with a 5-0 run here in the second set. A lot of runs here actually made by the PLDT squad, and so far this has been the biggest run. And to think that this is the tail end of the set too.
Rad with that punch on the other side. Palomata again. He's starting to have the hot hands here for PLDT.
And this is what we've been saying so far, Sinjin. It's good to see somehow a difference in the transitions of this match by the PLDT squad. A lot of the points, a lot of the attack points are coming from the middle blockers, which you don't usually see.
At ito naman yung promise sa atin ni DMAC when I got to talk to her before this game to activate all her spikers just like how Piola Ceballos, or rather Joey Prado has been activated there. Prado just getting that right between the seam of Rad and Meneses.
And getting that surprise off of that off-speed shot. Signal HD Spikers were prepared for that strong hit, but a good decision there on the side of PLDT.
Oh. Point goes to point goes to Signal HD, but you like the hustle of DMAC there. Let's look at that again. Or rather, let's see the substitution coming from PLDT. Eli Soyud is coming in, but there. Let's look at that. What happened there? That hit from Neta, then that block from DMAC. Sinusungkit sa ilalim ng net eh.
I mean, you would want to see the hustle here, even if you're 10 points ahead and 3 points away to closing the set.
Now, Kla Abriam serves for Signal. It's a 7-1 run for PLDT. Make that an 8-1 run. You just like the recovery of PLDT, especially if you're a fan of the high-speed hitters.
It's also such a joy to see how the team has been gelling really well. That chemistry has been solidified over a couple of months after that first conference. And you see how well they're moving together. It seems like they're moving as one unit already.
They definitely are. They were just giving enough time under Coach George, and see the development here right now. But here it's a 10-point gap. Look at what happened there. Ellie saw you going for that very sharp hit, but it just graces the tape of the net and it's bounced off.
Usually when you go after a very sharp angle for hits, kailangan mas mataas ka to make room for that ball to pass through.
This time, Del Palomata just making sure that she gets a point with that strong hammer. You know, when I see Del jump, it feels like it's a dunk.
Yes. With that height, it almost always feels like a dunk.
And now Del Palomata will be serving for PLDT as Dengenoo joins in. Palomata to serve. Abraham was there. Estaniero goes to Neta. That is going to be wide. And that gives the win for set number 2 for the PLDT high-speed hitters. 12-point gap. And mukhang pahaba na to ng pahaba, Zia. So welcome back as we go on to a quick break here at the PVL. The heart of volleyball continues to beat here at the Invitational Conference as we are one set apiece between the Signal HD Spikers and the PLDT high-speed hitters. Set number 2 was a reversal of fates as PLDT started to enjoy the match. They started to take control of the set, and they just, after pulling away, they just cruised by and win that set with a 12-point lead.
That's right, and as we check out the movement, the trend in that second set, it's like they flip tables. Itong Signal and PLDT as PLDT made a lot of attack points as we see, just right on cue. They made 18 attack points as compared to only 8 of Signal HD. And as we saw how they really capitalized on that perfect passes, and I think it's safe to say that a lot of those attack points came from our middle hitters as well. Del Palomata taking lead in that tail end of the second set, and we love to see it, Sinjin. We want to see how diverse or well-distributed the sets have been in for both squads naman.
Yeah, and when I actually talked to Coach Chuck De Los Santos, he mentioned how the middles will always be a threat when you're looking at this PLDT squad, talking about Mika Reyes and of course Del Palomata.
That's right, and if you have that middle blockers as threats, talagang balanse. Well-balanced team.
Especially when you have the top 2 blockers of the league going up
At
against
it.
each other. And then you have great setters in Jel Cayuna, who was the best setter last conference. And then Rhea de Mocolangan, who's a veteran setter, gabi. What we're just waiting for is yung laro nung Signal nung set 1 at yung laro ng PLDT nung set 2 magsabay ngayon. And we will have a very exciting, extra exciting match pa. Because the match has been very exciting as Molina gets that one off the hands of PLDT.
Just like in the previous match, the first point for this Signal HD Spiker squad came from Ces Molina. Again, it's such a pleasure to see her suited up and playing really well in today's match.
Serve came from Cayuna. That hit coming from Samonte. Neta on that off-speed. On the other side, pipe attack coming from Basas. Meneses with a hit and nalunod si Mika Reyes.
A little miscommunication there between Rhea and Mika, but when you see Mika's face right now, it's nothing. It's just 1 point. Then he bounce back. Give me the ball the next time around.
Mas palaban na talaga ngayon. D-Mac going to Rhea again, and there on cue, as predicted by my partner.
Usually at this level, as how we've seen the players' competitiveness inside the court, usually that's the spirit that you will see here in the PVL. After one mistake, babawi kagad, just as we saw there from Mika Reyes.
Rhea de Mocolangan with that serve, 13 excellent sets already under her name. Free ball coming from Signal. Let's see how PLDT will take advantage. They go to Reyes again. 2 straight points ang bawi ni Mika Reyes.
I mean, if it's working, why change it? Mika Reyes, 2 for 2 there for the PLDT high-speed hitters.
Tied at 2 now. Reyes being the sole scorer of PLDT in this set. Has that serve coming from D-Mac. A tip coming from Molina. Jerai with the coverage. Meneses denied by the blockers of PLDT. They go to Molina from the opposite side. D-Mac going to Reyes again. This time it goes a bit wide.
PLDT so far have been showing good block matches. That's why we're seeing longer rallies here in the third set so far. But unfortunately, in that last rally, Mika Reyes committing an error. 2 for 2 na rin ang kanyang error.
Tumukulangan now goes to Samonte. Dakis and Meneses was there for the block. Samonte will try again, this time with a tip. On the other side, Neta off the net. Basas straight to General. Dakis. Oh, Dakis finds corner down the line. And let's go to our insider, Alexis stateside.
Ces Molina is highly appreciative of the entire Signal staff and coaching management, given that the safety protocols that they had undergone were tough. Dito niya na-realize that every member has a significant part to play, from their conditioning coach that strengthens them, their sports psych that aids them in mentally processing their game results, their PTs who cared for their health, and their head coach who keeps their heads above water. Para kay Ces, worrying is not part of the game dahil para sa kanila, kapag sila'y kompleto, panalo na sila. Let's watch a go-getter gameplays by Signal this set 3.
Thank you so much, Alexis. When I got to talk to Ces earlier, sabi niya, iba pa din talaga yung kompleto.
That's right. And at the end of the day, this is a team, you know, everybody doing their jobs, doing their roles pretty well.
They love that sports psychology is even part of the game now.
Yes.
That's how much the game has also developed here in the Philippines, as Basas goes cross court, but that is wide. Signal now up by 2.
Good angle there by Chin, but a little too wide.
Great intention though,
Yes.
coming from Chin Basas.
That's right. And I think I wanted to go back to that sports site point that you mentioned, alalahanin natin, it's still the pandemic. And coming from like a bubble type.
Setup.
Yes, correct. A lot of transitions, a lot of changes have happened. And it's wonderful that now we get to experience live matches with spectators pretty close to what's been the usual before the pandemic hit.
Of course, you as a player know that how different it has been, how challenging it has been also mentally. It's a different headspace. But let's go back to the ball game real quick before we go on. That's a very interesting topic that I want to discuss here, and we might take hours. But here, Signal got a freebie there.
A lot of errors now coming from the side of PLDT, and I think at this point talagang ang labanan is to minimize the errors, especially at the beginning of the set, because at the beginning you would want to maximize your points, your advantage.
But now it's tit for tat. It's just an exchange of faults here. 1 point game again. And PLDT serves, they're down by 1 as Basas will be on deck. Ooh. Oh! What a very tough serve to read. Molina was trying to avoid it, but it just grazed the side of her head. Let's look at that again. Oh, that's a very great angle here on our replay.
Says, I think, thinking twice there. She gave that motion na sana kinamay ko na lang.
Ngayon, hinabol ni Rad, pero kakapos. We're having a pretty slow start of the third set here, Z. Not as explosive as our first 2 sets.
Both squads are finding their groove here in the third set, and so far, PLDT somewhat has that advantage as they have a 3-0 run here. 2 service aces by Chin Basas.
Basas with the tough serve, make that 3. 3 service aces for Chin Basas, and that gives PLDT a 2-point advantage as we head on to the short break. We'll be back here at the PVL. Volleyball action continues as we go on to the last member of our broadcast team. Of course, that's you, our fans. Who do you expect from Signal and PLDT to step up in the semi-final round? Let's hear what you have to say. According to Tai Tai here, says Molina will surely lead the Signal team from offense to defense. She will make bawi sa mga na-miss niyang games. A triple-double performance is what we can expect from her. Well, she's performing. She's starting things off for Signal. Let's go now to Ash203. He says, I think Troncoso will step up for Signal. She's a big revelation for the team. While on the side of PLDT, it's Kat Arado that we need to see. The Kat Arado we need to know from Diggs. The receiving to Buwis Buhay saves. Great points there. And of course, Jake Woney says here, I'm expecting Chin Basas to step up here at the semis, knowing that she's one of the primary choices for offense of the high-speed hitters this conference. Can't wait for her to show her full potential in this conference. Great points there. We heard some kumbaga sleeper picks, and we've heard some very emphatic hitters from those answers. So we're going to expect a lot from all the players. Sabi nga ng mga players, semifinals na to.
That's
Talagang laban na. Because I was asking Cess about her injury and she said,
Wala na.
Wala na. Hindi pwede. This is an important phase of the competition and we have to fight it out as Molina on cue goes for that hit. On the other side, Samonte will answer back. 4 touches will be called against the HD Spikers. And now it's a 3-point gap between PLDT and Signal, and Signal HD will call timeout.
Dun sa mga outside nila, sobrang taas. Okay? Masyadong mataas, dito lang dumadaan. No? Kailangan lang natin. Sige lang natin. Makukuha rin natin yan. Mabablock lang. Tatlo lang yan ha, tatlo lang. Okay? So, 1 good pass ulit. Gawa ka ulit ng play. Anong atake mo? O, sibat likod lang, tas dulo. Okay? Ha? Sige lang! Huwag kayo magsawa. Huwag kayo magsawa. Ha? Okay? Hindi pa natatapos. Napakahaba pa nitong game na to. Ha? Kailangan na yun. Hapin natin yung natin. Yung laro natin. Okay? Game, tagalan.
We have here the organizers, of course, of PVL, Mr. Ian Navarro and Sir Ricky Palu, both members of Sports Vision, of course, inside here. Always present here in the arena, wherever we may be.
Yes. And thanks to them, we're having this hell of a match here in
Definitely.
in Antipolo.
We have our first invitational conference, our first professional volleyball league here
Yes.
in the Philippines. A lot of firsts, of course, at this conference as PLDT gets a 4-point cushion here. This is starting to look very comfortable for the high-speed hitters.
PLDT so far getting a second run here. Ooh! In this third set.
Ball was still alive there, but Del Palomata, full speed and full power on that last play. Look at that again. Di Makulangan going straight to the middle to Del Palomata.
Del Palomata getting excited with that hit, which by the way is her 10th attack point.
What numbers both squads are showing here. Whoa, what a serve coming from Prado. Molina on that tip. On the other side, Di Makulangan goes up to the back row to Prado. On the other side, Cayuna chooses Molina cross court, popped up by Veray. They go to Samonte.
Ooh,
That's gonna be long.
a tough angle also there, but quite long as agreed between the first referee and our line judge there.
Acuna, who's been injected here for Doria, will serve. A standout from NU, of course. Samonte with that hit popped up by Dakis. They go up to Molina. And that is in for Signal HD. So far, we're pumakalagnas itong Signal. So we saw that, says Molina. Getting that one through Del Palomata. Tip coming from Del
Del again.
Palomata.
Giving variations coming from her attack points. Strong hits, off-speed hits.
Making things look easy.
13 points overall, 11 attack points, 2 blocks.
Now she serves. Molina was there for the reception and Molina closes things off the hands of Rhea Di Makulangan. So far, Signal's managing and able to maintain this 3-point gap and slowly inching their way closer.
Palitan lang ng puntos dito in this segment of the third set. Ooh.
Ooh. Now Signal getting lucky as well. With their tough serves. Something they worked on during practice, and Coach George will call time because this has just deflated to a 2-point gap.
Isa rito, ayan. Iwa-iwalay mo muna. Okay? Pero pag nagkabalikan, do the combination, then distansya lang tayo sa net. Kung maaari, A-pass tayo. Then, tingnan niyo yung bola. Pagka overhead na, it's outside na yun. So, yun lang naman ang lumalagpas sa atin eh. And then, si Libero nandito sa harap. So, dito tayo ang target natin. Either dito sa 6, dito sa 1. Kasi si Libero nandito. Okay? Liwanag? So, 1 to 6 na, and then execute. Okay.
Coach George Pasqua steady at the reminders there for the high-speed hitters as he's recognizing that the gap is slowly trying to be diminished by Signal here. It's now down to 2 and Jel Cayuna went for that serve. And now Signal goes on to a blocking spree after that timeout. Let's look at that again. Samonte, full flight, but no go, says Meneses and Araneta.
Good height there on the side of Signal, plus an ace, tying things up here in the third set. Again, coming from Jel Cayuna, 2 points, 2 coming from the service area.
So right now, just after the timeout, it's Signal who's recovering and catching up. So far in service aces, we're tied at 4 in total. Molina now with a tip. Basas was there for coverage. One-handed set from Dimaculangan straight to Reyes on the other side. Neta will answer.
Ooh. Good eye there by both our linesmen and first referee. Seeing that ball going in after that block by Jules Samonte. Neta was going for a check ball or a tool attack, but Jules was there to cover that one.
Now, it's Dimaculangan for the serve. They go to Molina. Ooh! Bit long. Baar dito sa Signal HD. We're now at a deadlock at 14. Now this is where things are starting to get spiced up.
Exactly. Makikita na natin yung wini-wish ng ating mga fans na mga buwis buhay.
Saves.
Solid hits.
Signal. Nauuna. Going ahead. Look at that. Signal punishing PLDT off their own medicine with that block.
Good read there by the blockers of Signal.
Samonte now. Someone
Jules.
hit the antenna, but was it the
Yep.
block or was it the... Okay, according to our referees, it's the block touch. Let's see that again. Gozi.
That's right. Good call there by the referees. The outside. And Rachel Dakis knew
May
that,
conviction eh.
yes, nasa kanya yun. Nag-sorry siya kagad. Akin yun, babawi ako.
Tingnan natin kung makakabawi. Meneses with that tip, bumawi ang Signal. And things are starting to get tight and heavy here as the HD Spikers lead just by 1 point as we go on a very short break. back here at Inari Center in Antipolo. Serve coming from Signal. The answer coming from PLDT. Dakis now will try to get that one across. Ooh. Grabe yung blocks.
Signal now with a 4-1 or a 3-0 run here at the third set. Jove Prado tried to make something out of that trap set, but Acuna was there to block that one.
Nika Reyes with that quick. And that works for PLDT. Grabe yung dikit na dito yung laban Z.
Nika Reyes making sure Signal HC Spikers hindi lumayo dahil panay sila naman yung nagkakaran dito. So far kanina they had a 4-0 run and then a 3-0 run, ending that momentum right there.
Neta trying to break down that one. On the other side, that block coming from Dakis and Acuna.
Signal has been solid here at the net so far with 2 consecutive block points.
2 points ahead itong Signal HD Spikers as the serve comes from Neta. Tough serve there as Prado makes do with that. At yun, lumusot.
Lumusot this time, Jove Prado's hit. Medyo mababa ang contact pero I think it was also the blockers' fault on the side of Signal na medyo malayo sa net.
Shin Basas, 8 points under her belt with that serve. Oh, tumama sa antena yung reception.
And now, Sinjin, we're tied again at 18.
Ano to, Z? Welcome back to covering games.
Naku.
Diba? Napalayo ka today. Punta ka ng Antipolo
It was
today.
a trip.
Siyempre, enjoy natin yung time mo dito kasi volleyball is definitely back with the fans inside the court.
Yes.
Imagine on a weekday.
Correct.
We're kind of packed here, huh? 18 all. The tip coming from Palomata. Woo! Oh, smart up there coming from Del Cayuna.
Zel Cayuna taking matters in her own hands. Bumawi din from the last rally. This time, pumasok na yung 1-2 play niya. We saw earlier a couple of times it didn't go over, but this time, and when they need it the most. Now they're up by 1.
And ito na yung sinasabi natin kanina. When the game that we saw from Signal and PLDT from the sets that they won starts to show up, we're entering spaces where deadlocks are seen as we see Cés Molina hitting that very strong hit, unfazed and unbothered by any injury that she's experienced. It's like she's back here brand new.
No blockers there. Cés Molina taking advantage of that open net.
Free spiking para kay Cés Molina and Jel Cayuna. Let's go to the PLDT timeout.
Wala ka namang block eh. Bakit tayo paluin? At saka kung magdadrop kayo, bakit sa tao? At saka yung drop ninyo, hindi pa takas. Power tip pa rin, ha?
Go, cover kami,
Let's go,
cover
let's go.
kami.
Kaya. Wait, PLDT.
Coach George reminding the PLDT squad, kung magda-drop ball daw sila, wag daw yung palubo. Kailangan patusok pa din.
Even if it's a drop ball, Sinjin, it needs to have that perfect rhythm, that perfect speed. And dahil sila nga ang high-speed hitters, kailangan high-speed din ng drop ball.
High speed ang connection, high speed ang drop ball, ganun. Oh,
Oh!
overreaching will be called against Signal this time. Dak is trying to contest that.
At a very crucial part of this set.
Still, 1-point game pa din ito. as Jovi Prado will serve for PLDT. Dakis was there for the reception. They go up to Molina. Oh, what a read there from Viral. But the answer, wow! A very emphatic
Sinjin, I am getting goosebumps right now. Grabe yung sagutan dito ng paluan.
Paluan at
Nobody
potohan.
is giving up for whatever ball. Good ball, out of system man. Del Palomata will always be there to end things up.
And let's listen to this timeout.
Ha? Sige, one good pass lang muna ulit. Tapos atake tayo, ha? Okay ka na?
Happy na signal! Awesome!
One good pass lang daw muna, sabi ni Coach. Shot
That's
de los
right.
Santos.
20 all, but if you try to see the bigger picture, parang 0-0 lang ulit. First to 25, first to make 5 points will win. And I think that's what Coach Shaq is trying to tell her girls na simplehan muna natin, back to basics, one good pass, and from that, the attack will follow.
Doon naman nagsisimula din naman yun. And this is a common drill that we see in volleyball, di ba? Yung magta-20 all kunyari both sides of the court.
That's right.
So, very interesting. But here, Signal gets a freebie.
Coach Shaq there enjoying the fruits of his time out. Dito mo rin mapapansin how the head coaches will play with their
The timing
tools.
the timing of their timeout.
Correct.
Also,
The substitutions.
The substitution, syempre. Kung ano yung mga pyesa na nasa toolbox mo nga, sabi mo. Dorian now will serve. Straight to Arado. They go to Palomata. Oh. Great pick there. Oh! Oh. Signal was out of position to handle that last ball. Now we're tied at 21G and edge of your seat moments pa.
Again, Del Palomata delivering, but actually, it was a good dig there by Araneta, but a miscommunication on that end for the HD Spikers.
Then Ginoo now joins the fold and goes with that very sharp serve read by her former teammate, Jel Cayuna. Molina there with that hit. Tip coming from Santos. Samonte on the opposite side of things. General was there. Molina for the free ball. They give a high one. They go to Mika Reyes. Off the hands of General. Hinabol ni Dakis. Free ball coming from Signal again. Let's see how PLDT will maximize. Samonte will try. Oh! Great puto. Oh! Samonte! And Reyes! What a hit there coming from Mika Reyes.
Mika Reyes not stopping in that rally. Making sure height is might as well, as she faced the best blocker in the last conference. Enjoying that point there. 3 points away from closing out the set, but let's see how Signal responds. Oof, bad first ball there. Ces Molina tries to make something out of it.
Semana, oh. Signal gets a lucky break here. Tied at 22. You know, in the last few sequences, makapigil hininga moments siya eh.
A lot, grabe. And this is why you should come out and watch the games live.
We're covering this for you guys, but syempre, we're human also watching this game. Oh, these are excellent moments to watch sports right now. Santos gets that one through. Look at that again. Back set coming from Wendy and Semana. And Erika Santos, fresh from the UAAP, gets that one through.
That's right, and we see that block attempt by Ces Molina. Medyo malayo sa net. That's why the ball got through to her. And PLDT gets that point.
It's a 1-point game. PLDT with the lead. Iridim Makulangan with 18 excellent sets to serve. Molina with a tip. On the other side, Di Makulangan gives him a free ball. Meneses!
Rhea Meneses saying, hindi ako papatalo. Let me give you the Rhea Meneses that you know.
What a treat for all of us. Palitan lang ng puntos at
23 all, Sinjin.
23 all na.
Ito na yung hinihingi mong balanse ng PLDT and Signal from the first and second set.
Jules Samote!
Wala na sa pwesto.
Bringing PLDT first in the set point advantage. Tingnan mo, that adjustment just works right perfectly para dito sa PLDT.
The blocking has been off here from the side of Signal.
Set point advantage for PLDT. Let's see how Signal will try to catch up General with that reception. Dakis denied by the block. General goes up to Molina from the back row. Samonte was there. Dimac chooses Basas off the blockers. Dakis on that tip. Dimac was there. Basas, we have a long rally. Dakis off the blockers. Ball is still alive. They go to Meneses with a tip. Dimac was there for coverage. Oh! Joey Prado closes things out for PLDT.
Everybody on the side of the PLDT bench standing up for that last point as we see Sir Bajida Rosario, their team manager, standing up, cheering his heart out. Grabe. What a way to end the third set, Sinjin.
Yes, and that third set might just define this game. But if Signal will have an answer, let's see when we return here at the Premier Volleyball League Invitational Conference.
And we see the statistics here so far with 3 sets in. Signal getting 1 set, PLDT getting 2 sets. And grabe, that third set was crazy exciting and everybody's standing up from their seats. 25-23 ang naitalang points. And that last few points rather, a lot of attack points coming from the side of PLDT.
And the tail end, you've mentioned it, PLDT ang nagsaya nung set na yon. Some part of it was of course luck, but of course you can't discount the hard work of both teams in the last set. But the question is, will Signal allow that set to define them? As we look at the numbers,
we see here, grabe, 17 attack points as compared to only 9 for Signal HV Spikers. Sa blocks, as we see, talagang nalamangan ng Signal ang PLDT. But in that last portion of that third set, a lot of the hits actually went through the blockers of Signal as they needed it the most. But Grabe, palitan lang ng puntos, palitan lang ng runs in that last set, in the third set. And let's see how Signal will respond here in the fourth set.
That's really the question now because it's do or die moments here for
That's right.
the HD Spikers if they want to extend this to a fifth and deciders. Set 4 starts with a serve coming from PLDT. Here, Demokulangan with that serve. Meneses will start things off. Reyes, though, draws first blood para sa PLDT.
Reyes there connecting well with Rhea Demokulangan. Rally was getting long, but even if the setter was medyo out of position, an option was still there for Mika Reyes.
Here, Demokulangan 18 excellent sets na in this game.
Ooh!
And had an ace under her name.
Little miscommunication there on the side of Signal. Usually, if you see them right now, their position, may isang player ang nasa likod ng mga receivers natin. Usually, yan yung timon. Yan yung nagsasabi kung in or out, guides their teammate. But little miscue there on their side.
Ayel now goes to Molina. On the other side, Basas. Estañero to Molina again. This time going for that sharp cross court. Signal gets their first point.
Says Molina avoiding the blockers of PLDT. Sakto. Nobody there for PLDT.
Estañero will now serve for Signal. Straight to Basas. Samonte. Ooh, that's under the ball and goes out.
Too much juice there by Jules Samonte.
We're tied at 2 as we go on to Alexis Tinsay.
Ito pa lang yung simula, Coach George Pasco of PLDT said with a smile. Given that they have been together for 7 months, they have managed to discover each other's potentials. Pero ni Coach George sa mga lapses, doon nagkakaroon ng opportunity na paghirapan at paghandaan yung mga susunod na laban. Dahil second season pa lang ng PLDT core members na ito, nakaka-excite daw para kay Coach George na makita kung ano pa ang kayang bigay ng high-speed hitters sa mga susunod na conference. Let's go back to set 4.
Thank you so much, Alexis. And titignan natin. But this time, Ayel Estañero getting an ace for Signal HD. They're up by 2. As we look at that again.
Ayel Estañero 2 for 2 on that service line.
Let's see if she makes it 3 for 3.
Good spot eh. Ayan.
Now, read by Basas. Tip coming from Reyes. On the other side, Neta off the blockers. Oh, Signal on a roll here, ha? Balikan lang natin yung report doon ni Alexis, no? Sabi niya, ito na ang simula. Ang tanong, kailan ang exciting part?
Papunta pa lang tayo.
Tingnan natin. But let's go to this timeout by Coach George Pascua.
Iba yung kalaban para mahabol tayo. Advance na tayo ng dalawa eh. Tsatsagayin lang naman eh. Di ba? So yung attitude na kailangan nito, hindi. Kailangan unahan natin sila. So ano yun? Kailangan mas aggressive tayo na itong third set na to. Yes! PLDT!
I actually want to mention, Sinjin, speaking of the interview for the PLDT high-speed hitters, in one of the interviews, I think it was Mika Reyes who said na ang motto nila ngayon is trust the process. Kasi nga, if you remember, this is their first year being together in this new team, in this new lineup of PLDT. And yun na nga, trust the process. Right now, we're seeing the fruits of their labor, the fruits of the seeds that they planted early this year. And they're gelling quite well. Their chemistry is right there. And yun na nga, nakita natin sila ngayon. They qualified here for the semifinal round, and maybe things are going quite well for the squad of PLDT.
Well, all things look good, ha? Kasi itong si Jules Samonte getting that ace for that beautiful serve. Let's look at that again. Grabe yung pagbagsak ng serve.
Palitan ng aces dito sa PLDT and Signal.
Just to connect to what you were saying, Z, they finished 7th in 2021. And then in the Open Conference, the first conference this year, it was 5th for the PLDT high-speed hitters. So they're slowly making their way to the top, talking about the high-speed hitters. So there's really that trust the process thing as Reyes goes through the blocks here. On the other side, Molina answers. Then Basas over the blockers, but popped up by Signal. Neta now. Dimakulangan goes up to Basas again. Dakis pop that one up. They go to Molina finding that perfect spot in the corner.
Says Molina changing things up. Off-speed hit down the line where nobody was home for PLDT. Even her body was facing cross-court.
At mukhang may silip pa bago dinala dun yung bola. But you also appreciate na Ayel Estanier, very familiar with that underhand set as a former libero and as Miss Anyone as they
Yes.
Oh, miscue there. Ooh, okay, ball still alive. Dimac goes up to Basas. Oh! Net touch will be called against Signal. So, this now becomes a one-point game. Let's look at that again. Para sure lang tayo.
Medyo nanggigil. Ito, ang pagbaba ni Rachel Andaki sumabit sa net.
Pumilantik yung
Buhok niya.
Hindi naman yung braso. Serve coming from Reyes. Estaniero goes to Dakis. This one goes through the block.
Rachel Andakis bumawi in that last sequence.
Meneses now will serve for Signal. They're up by 2. Palomata on the tip. Doria pushing it to the other side. Prado. Smart tip there. Ball is still alive. Let's see how PLDT will answer. Combination play.
Still alive.
Samonte was there for the first ball. Oh, we have a long rally thanks to the good floor defense here of both teams. Prado with a strong hit. Ayel goes up to Dakis. Dimakulangan to Palomata. What a set there. Molina with that hit. Ooh. Prado.
Still alive.
Ball is still alive. Wow.
Oh!
Whoa, what a return from Mayado. Oh!
Coach George Pasco enjoying that, giving that point and look at Kat Arado. Very smart play. We thought it was still going up, but nobody was home for Signal.
Bigay natin sa court sense ni Kat.
Sakto eh. Just a miscommunication because Ayel, the setter, got the first ball. Nobody knew who was gonna get that second ball.
Dimakulangan with that dump. Estaniero goes up to Dakis. Oh, that's too soft. We're tied at 7-0.
Good intention there by Rachel Dakis, but she was pretty far from the net. That soft hit needed a little bit of oomph. Kinapos nga lang. 7-all. Make that 8-7.
Make that 8-7. It's a free point for the Signal HD Spikers. And we'll now go on to a short break. We'll be back here at the PVL. volleyball continues to beat here at the third game of our semifinals. We just saw Rachel Andakis and Jules Samonte. Both teams showing all out, all heart here dito sa PVL Invitational Conference. 2 sets ahead are the PLDT high-speed hitters. Signal needs to extend this to a 5th and decider if they want to make this more exciting for all of us. And of course, snatch another win here at the semifinals.
Ces Molina with that back row attack. And you're right, Sinjin. A lot is at stake here, and as much as possible and as early as possible, gusto mo na mamuhunan ng wins here. As yun na nga, nabanggit natin kanina, we discussed the format of the semifinal round. 6 teams are actually playing in that semifinal round, and only 4 will advance straight to the battle for 3rd or the championship round.
So it's important to get those wins. Ipunin na habang kaya, as we just saw that hit coming from Del Palomata. Back to a 1-point game. PLDT tries to catch up here. At sayang, this is television, not smell-o-vision. Hindi nila alam yung mga naamoy natin. For quick context, may fries pong dumaan sa likod namin. But back to the ball game. Doria with that quick hit. Focus tayo, Z. Samonte. They go up. Off speed coming from Neta.
We're just enjoying how this game has been so entertaining.
Oh.
4th set, palitan lang ng puntos.
Sarap kaya may snacks, di ba? Napaka-stick nitong FD natin sa tabi natin.
Baka kasi iniisip ng mga tao, I can't enjoy these things that I'm enjoying at home in the venue. But no, you are wrong. You
Yes.
can enjoy more here, live, watching the games here in the
Yeah.
PVL Invitational Conference.
You get all your 5 senses stimulated as we see this hit coming from Jules Samonte. Adding a point to the PLDT side.
Jules Samonte making sure the Signal HD Spikers don't get that run that we've been seeing so far here in the 4th set. Kaya nakakalamang sila. They're still up by 1.
It's still a 1-point game. Oh, what a serve galing kay Palomata. Molina cross court. Oh. Grabe yung mga gitna natin na dumidepensa na talaga ngayon.
Yes.
Prado from the back row. Molina. Cross court. Oh, popped up by Del. Free ball coming from PLDT. Ayel. Goes up to Molina. Off speed. Oh!
Ces Molina, seeing Del Palomata has been getting her strong hits, her off-speed shots, her tight angle shots. This time, super short naman ang kinanaan nitong Ces Molina, getting the 11th point, giving them a 2-point cushion here in the 4th set.
Doria there with the serve. Arado goes up to Samonte with the adjustment, but that is going to be out.
Make that 3-point cushion there, coming from a miss hit.
Good effort though coming from PLDT. Doria now serves. 3-point lead. Oh! Again. She won't be a great server in the UAP for nothing.
That's right. And sabi mo nga, hard work, hard serve, with a little bit of luck from that net, getting that tempo off for PLDT's receivers, giving her that much-needed ace point here.
Samonte finding the line though. Great answer to stop the bleeding here for PLDT.
Jules Samonte stopping that 3-0 run by Signal.
Di makulangan. 22 excellent sets already in this game. Serves. Straight to Dakis. Oh! It's gonna... Oh!
Oh, there's a net touch touch there. Although, valid. Kung walang net, valid point ng Signal.
Signal would have gotten the point.
But, Paji, the first referee saw that Ayel
Let's look at
touched
that
the
one.
net. Let's see it.
There you go. Ayan.
Sumabit ang buhok ni Ayel as well.
Two-point lead for Signal.
Oh!
Make that 3. Ayan, Estraniero getting offensive here. Gusto pumawi dun sa nangyari kanina eh.
Ayel Estraniero making sure she makes up for that point, being aggressive on the net. Sabi mo nga, miss anyone. Ayun na nga, naging spiker na rin siya ngayon.
Back to spiker commentator din yan sa UAP. Huwag natin
Correct.
kalimutan. Busy yan. Ayel now goes up to Neta. Oh! Stronger hits now coming from Signal, bolstering them to a 4-point advantage here. Let's look at that again.
Right in the middle of the two blockers there.
Ganda. Binilis, ha?
Oh,
That's
3
her.
points.
Too strong for Estaniero. So the 3-point game, we're seeing Jel Cayuna, of course, on the sidelines. Still very much ready.
I was just thinking then since kanina na, how come Gel has been subbed out? I guess it's just a matter of changing tempos.
Changing things up, di ba?
Yes, that's right.
Sometimes-
Kasi makikita natin ngayon, si Ayel doesn't really jump set like Gel. But that already gives a different tempo for her spikers and the blockers on the side of their opponent.
And the tempo change is good for Signal as they're up by 4 big points here. Let's see each other again when we return here at the PVL. You're still watching the Premier Volleyball League. Signal is currently up by 4 points here. At set number 4, serve coming from Molina. Prado, whoa, what a hit. Dakis denied there by the block and the coverage. Is not able to manage that. Ayel Estaniero, ha? Pamapasok lang. 3 points already. 1 in attack, 2 on aces.
They're actually tied silang dalawa ni Gel. But right now, as we see, kakapasok lang niya. Already contributing to the points for Signal.
Pinela with that good reception and Neta getting that one through. Everything's starting to click here for the HD Spikers. Let's look at that again.
Araneta with 4 attack points so far and 1 block.
Meneses with that serve. Basas. Ayel was there for the pickup with a stomp on the court. Neta was denied. Doria getting aggressive. Di mo kulangan. Goes up to Prado off speed. On the other side, Ayel chooses Neta. Jules was there for coverage.
Oh!
Yan yung sinasabi ni Coach George.
I was just gonna say, palitan ng off-speed shots, walang namapatay. And if, I don't know if you heard it kanina, palo!
Oh.
Ayun na nga, yun ang ginawa ni Chin.
As you wished.
Your wish is my command.
Yes, very ano tayo dyan. Genie. 3-point lead for Signal. Dakis finds the corner. You know what was exciting in the third set? It was PLDT who had the third set, yeah. PLDT had the faster pace, and then Signal just slowly caught up to that pace. So you love how the chess match, when it comes to strategies, are also playing into work here.
We see different tempos, we see different set plays. We see teams taking advantage of their strengths and the opponent's weaknesses.
And it's funny because when you talk about strengths, Signal just tallied another block point. Just being the strongest blocking team so far in the competition.
That's right, because I remember in the last set, they actually had 4 block points na sunod-sunod.
Really taking advantage of the advantage.
Nabate na naman.
Okay, so binati natin yung block. Look at that. Del Palumata getting it right through that block. Jovi Prado will now serve. Signal is still ahead by 4 points.
Ooh.
Free ball coming from Signal. They go to Palumata on the PLDT side. Samonte on that free ball. Ariel goes to Dakis. Oh, that is out. She's been going to that down the line spot, favoring that area.
So far, that's been the sweet spot of Rachel and Dakis. Tsaka kasi naiiwan yung blockers.
Yes.
Sumusunod dun, I mean, if you're trying to block Doria, Dakis, you will really try to get the tempo set of Doria. Tapos habol ka sa outside.
And of course, on the cross court, you have Del Palumata blocking you.
3 straight points by PLDT, and that will cause a timeout by Coach Shaq de los Santos.
Let's listen in.
Kasi kinukuha talaga nila to. Kinukuha na nila to. Ito nga lang. Tapos ito nakapasok dito. Ganito yung depensa nila. Pwede ka yung drop ball mo na gano'n dito. Okay? Ngayon, change ka ng play. Masyado nakakompress na dito yung naka-establish. Okay? Ha? P-tres ka. Tapos mag-back row ka net at saka si ano. Kaya adjust mo doon sa ano. Ha? Apat tayo ng 2. Kinay mo kila para mag-break na ng 2. Kuya natin ito. Kuya natin.
Coach George Pasqua, klinaro sa ating lahat. Breaking the momentum timeout yon. Up pa daw sila ng 2. Time-out niya to break the momentum. Pero maganda yung sinabi ni Rachel Andakis nun, kapit pa tayo, magandang receive muna tayo.
I mean, bigger picture, they're still up by 2 points. But yun na nga, 3 consecutive points naman ang hinabol ng PLDT. Breaking the momentum definitely. Let's see how they will respond.
Must-win set to. Sabi ni Coach George, iusog natin yung opensa natin kasi masyado ng siksik dito sa left side. But still, they go to an open hit.
And PLDT still in the running for that 4 straight points even after that timeout. And now Coach Shaq trying to change things up, subbing in Abriam and Kayuna. Let's see if they change the tempo.
Serve now will come from Jovi Prado. 19 excellent digs already in this ball game. Kayuna goes up to Dakis. Oh, ball game is now tied at 19. Signal will now call timeout. Let's listen in.
Kailangan natin makapag-focus ng pang-end game natin. Okay? Tapos wag natin panggigilan. Talagang dapat may ano natin yung sarili natin. So control natin yung inner mind natin, ha? So yun ang ano natin, ha? Kailangan yung hindi pwedeng mapadala tayo doon sa mga nangyayari doon. Kailangan makontrol natin siya para lumabas yung laro natin. Okay? Sige, sige lang.
Let's go! Bawi ako! Happiness signal! Awesome!
Things are starting to look tight here inside the Inares Center in Rizal. It's 19 all as Jovi Prado serves. They go up to Doria. On the other side, Semana goes to Palumata, denied there by Doria. Free ball from Samonte. Cayuna goes to Abriam. Long rally we have here.
Oh!
Santos adjusts! That worked. Smart play there coming from Erica Santos to the celebration of the PLDT bench. Let's look at that again.
And just like that, they are up by 1. Coach Shaq is trying to do everything he can to change and switch things up here. Changing momentum, changing the pace, changing his players. Let's see.
It's must-win moments here for Coach Shaq De Los Santos and the rest of the Signal HD Spikers.
6-0 run. Napako sa 19 ang Signal. From 15, the 15th point to 20th point, PLDT is chasing it down just like Wendy and Simana right there.
What a hobble there. They go up to Tongcoso.
Oh! Arado was there.
Santos again.
Oh!
Oh!
4 touches. Called by our first referee. Phew!
To Coach Shaq De Los Santos. That smirk says it all. He's been trying to figure this out. But PLDT seems to get things going on their side of the court. It's a 7-0 run. Just like what Z said earlier. 2 points ahead is Team PLDT. Prado to serve. Straight to Molina. Hayel there to Doria. Oh!
Del Palomata has been so present
Yeah.
at the top of the net.
She's been firing up here.
Yan yung gusto mong makita sa middle blocker. Always being aggressive sa net. Anong mang bola ang umangat sa net, iba-block, papaluin, it will be converted to a point. And Del Palomata has been doing her job really well here in their second semifinal match.
Troncoso, Santos with the answer. Troncoso with the tip. Oy. And that's what you don't want to see in these moments. Nakapik ni Troncoso yung net. Look at that again. Shai had great intentions, but PLDT seems to be steamrolling here. Dakis off the blockers. Signal is still alive here.
Rachel Dakis, as she has been telling her teammates na kumapit lang,
Being the captain that she is,
salita at sa gawa. Let's see here.
Semana goes to Palomata.
Oh!
Oh. That is out as per the lines.
That was a close one.
Very close call there. On our angle, it did look in. That's why our reaction was also like,
Even Del was saying it was in, but a good call by the referees and the line judges there.
let's go to Coach George.
Kaya yung babaw. O, one good pass ulit tayo. One good pass and then execute. Tayo lang, then iwa-hiwalay mong ganon. Naintindihan? Naintindihan natin? Okay, let's go! Go, 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 let's go! Okay, PLDT!
Let's look at that last play coming from Del Palomata and Wendy Ansemana. Again,
That was a tight
very
set
tight calls,
there
of
and a
course.
tight call by the referees. But PLDT is still up 2 points and 2 points away from finishing this set and maybe finishing this game.
Let's see. Semana goes up to Santos.
Oh!
Off the blockers. And PLDT enters the match point advantage rather.
Santos making sure everybody on the side of PLDT is contributing and making sure she seals the deal for her team for this match.
Oh, and Z, remember when Deng Ginoo last served for the match? Oh, but this one is received well by Signal. Off speed coming from Molina. Santos goes up to Samonte. Dakis was there. They go up to Molina. Cross court.
Oh,
Signal still alive.
Signal still alive. Ces Molina is in front. And Ria Meneses is in front as well. Let's see how PLDT will make their play in their match point.
Match point. Doria now to serve. Arado was there for the pop. Up. Off. Ooh, that's too soft for Santos.
Out of system set coming from an off receive. Santos trying to make variations. Coach George trying to see if he can still call a timeout, but maybe you never know. Baka ito na yun. They will get the first chance to attack. Let's see what they will do here.
Coming from a very good server in Doria. On cue. Santos will try again. Dakis was there. Molina.
Ay!
Oh.
Arado was there. Santos,
Santos.
again.
Oh, Signal make it. Oh, that's it. PLD wins this in 4 straight sets. And this is a testament that they didn't just win their last match against Signal just because Signal was undermanned.
That's right. Mabuo man, kulangin man. They made a statement today that they can beat their sister team at that
Yes.
as well, Sinjin. And this time in 4 sets.
You love the correction coming from Wendy and Semana, recognizing that Erica Santos may have struggled in the point before, pero bumawi agad itong si Erica Santos, closing things off for PLDT. It was a great chess game from both coaches, Coach George Pascua and Coach Shaq de los Santos, but this time, Coach George gets this 2 for 2, and both in 4 sets. And PLDT marks their second win here in the semifinals. Signal going to have their first loss here. Now let's go on to discuss who our player of the game is.
Sino nga ba?
Ang dami nating choices, Z. A lot of players have performed
Ayun
well
na,
in both
eto
sides
na.
of the court, but this lady stood out, all 6'3" of her, showing her height and her might.
I mean, 19 points lang naman.
Yeah.
A middle blocker at that. Ang top scorer ng PLDT squad ngayon. Our winner for today is Del Palomata. And let's check in with Alexis.
Here with me is player of the game, Del Palomata of the PLDT High Speed Hitters. Congratulations, Del!
Thank you po.
And dikit yung laban sa putong hindi na makahinga yung fans kanina. But you managed to pull through. Ano yung nasa isip nyo to have this end game?
Nasa mindset po namin na huwag kaming bumitaw sa laro, huwag kaming mag-down. Kaya po namin yun. Tapos tulong-tulong lang ng mga teammates.
At talaga namang hindi din bumitaw yung fans sa kakasigaw sa maganda niyong laro kanina. Congratulations, LB. Gusto ka bang batiin?
Binabati ko po yung family ko sa Aklan, Wani ko family, Tita Neng, Papa Dan, sa ate ko po, Ate Des sa Palumata. Lahat po ng mga supporters ng PLDT, maraming salamat po.
Congratulations again, Del, and the rest of the PLDT high-speed hitters. Expect more intense and breathtaking gameplays this Saturday in the Inara Center, Antipolo.
Thank you so much, Alexis. And before we get into anything else, let's go back to set number 4. It was a very interesting set. At first, Signal was taking control until the 19th point. They even have a very huge lead. But then,
A 9-0 run, Sinjin. I mean, from the 15th down to the 23rd point.
Grabe yung ginawa nitong PLDT. It was really all heart for them. They showed up a good fight. They showed they scouted their opponent and they proved they deserve this win for today in 4 sets.
That's right. And going back to what we shared earlier, talagang trust the process ang tema nitong PLDT high-speed hitters. And just like that, they just checked in their second semi-final win.
And let's look back at the numbers. On attacks, we were tied at 13. So talagang attack output okay naman.
Balance.
Yung errors naman, isa lang naman yung abante ng isa. But dito nagkatalo sa blocks at sa service aces din.
Also, I guess, Sinj, this is a good point to mention to our fans also watching na statistics isn't the whole picture of the game. Kung makikita natin, it's the breaks of the game as well. And as we mentioned, you know, these attack points, these errors, these service aces came at the right moment in that last set.
They tell you a story, but they don't give you the full picture. Of course, there's a lot of things that happen inside the court. But speaking of this court here at Inara Center, we go back here on Saturday, August 6, as the Black Mamba Army Energy Drink Lady Troopers go up against the Signal HD Spikers. And then, at 5:30 p.m., of course, you have the Creamline Cool Smashers going up against the PLDT high-speed hitters who has been on a roll in the semifinals round. So let's see if they'll get their 3rd win or will Creamline stop that for them. So very exciting matches here, Z.
That's right. And now we're inviting you to catch the exciting matches here in Antipolo this coming Saturday. And we thank you for everybody who tuned in today's match.
And there you go. On behalf of course, Alexis Tensai, my partner Z Hervasio, and the whole PVL production team, this has been Sinjin Reyes thanking you for joining us here on the PVL 2022 Invitational Conference, the heart of volleyball.